What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy, bringing you another gold nugget that you can either pick up or you can just kick it aside. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you all as you all come in. Will somebody buy me a cup of coffee? Will somebody, I'm gonna sound like Tom Joyner, somebody buy me a cup of coffee. That's my new saying right now because I need to wake up after this information that I just received about Donald Trump. I'm gonna play the videos, y'all, rejecting 54 African countries for visas, but accept a refugee program for white Africans in South Africa to come to damn America. That's right, put the D in front of America, capitalize the E, damn America, because they're saying that they are being oppressed by their lands being taken. Trump signed an executive order to free white people from black people. Can you believe that? That white people are needing to be freed from black people? Those who went and took their land and saying that they are being so-called oppressed or being taken advantage of because their lands are being taken, which is far from the truth. Had to do the research, had to look into the whole thing and find out that no, it is that the South African government is looking at land that is not being used or land that was maliciously taken, can be returned or be utilized for the benefit of the better good of the people. This is what the whole thing is. But let's get into the video because let me say this right here, y'all. Let me say this right here. It is a shame that we as a people, black folks in America, have such a trust in a government system ran by those who don't have a care about you, but yet believe there is equality, fairness in its behavior in conducting its business. All because of the fact that you received your degree, you got your six-figure job for only 3% of the population, and you got your little car and your little Gucci belt, and you think you have achieved something, that there's equality. You know, it frustrates me, but the beautiful thing of it is, though, is that what's happening down the pike, many of y'all don't even see this prophecy that's happening. This is prophetic. This is where it is that the exodus will have to happen. Because when you see that the so-called reins are being tightened upon a people that many people don't even see. One, Biden brought in all those daggone immigrants to replace you. I was sharing with a brother today. This was a replacement program, you people. Everywhere I'm traveling around damn America is people from all these different countries, the restaurants I go to, the hotels I stay in, you know, the jobs that many people really don't want to do. But now I'm seeing even jobs that are requiring, whether you have a license, whether you need a degree, there are people, this is a replacement program that happened under the Biden administration. Guess what? There is a fulfillment through a Trump administration. Why? Because you have to understand, we are a people who are nationless, without a nation. Do you not understand we are under a captivity? Taken out of a nation or a country or a region or a continent or a place to be brought under slavery into a newfound land, or should I say a new stolen land? Come on, people, wake up and realize the fact that we are still captives by our the captors who have taken us into this whole enslavement and in this system that we sit in today. We are subjects and servants. Let's look at this report that came in because many people, I tell y'all, sometimes it can get frustrating when you try to share information with your own people and they just don't get it. But let's check this report out right here. Let's check this report out right here.
President Donald Trump's administration is leaving no stone unturned to show their distrust and discrimination against Africans. Why do we say so? because his administration has excluded Africa from this year's visa waiver program. In a list reportedly released earlier this week, the Trump administration has excluded all 54 countries of the world's second largest continent from eligibility for a visa waiver that allows travelers to enter the United States for up to 90 days without a formal visa. In sharp contrast, the Trump administration has included nearly 40 countries in this year's list, most of which are U.S. allies from Europe and Asia.
They're cousins.
This has raised eyebrows over the ongoing challenges African nations face in securing easier access to the U.S. For years, visa rejection rates for African applicants have been on the rise. Reports indicate that nearly 60% of all students from African countries who applied to study at universities in the United States were denied the requisite F1 visa in 2023. The U.S. authorities have reportedly cited concerns over immigration violations, fraud, and security risks as reasons for rejecting African visas. Moreover, reports suggest countries with high numbers of visa overstays, asylum seekers, or economic instability have also traditionally faced stricter entry standards to the U.S. But interestingly, the U.S. has not raised such concerns for its allies such as Israel, Netherlands, Finland, Germany,
These are
France,
their cousins.
Norway,
This is their
South
family.
Korea,
That's their
and
relatives.
Japan, among others,
This is their
who are
their
included in
buddies.
this year's visa waiver program. So why exclude Africa, a continent that is rapidly growing, has a young demography, and is rich in minerals that drive America's economic interests? Some link this to Trump's policy of doubling down on illegal migration and his hardline stance on border control. Moreover, the exclusion of Africa from the visa waiver program might also be a larger political move to restrict entry from countries that Trump feels have security challenges and implications. This action might further complicate relations between the US and Africa, which have already been deteriorating under Trump.
So, you know what's so interesting is the fact that I hope that every African American, whatever you want to call yourself, black folk, will wake up and see, especially the African leaders over there, they don't give a damn about you. Even though you're the puppet, you're nothing but a subject to them. This is all it is. But be of good cheer. Get yourself ready. Go back home to your African country. Establish yourself. Get your land and start planting food. Do you not see that there is a famine coming? Do you not see that? Look, I was just in the store. I'm like, I can only get 1 carton of eggs. Oh, yes. Y'all been hearing about that. Do y'all not see that there's a shortage in beef? Do you not see that there is shortage in foods and the production of food? But Africa has untapped land that when it comes down to it, you all, when this whole famine hits, Africa will be free, just like it was during the COVID. We were walking around on the streets, we were singing Kumbaya, and we were laughing at the rest of the world while the rest of the world was locked down. I was sitting in Tanzania, we were on the beach chilling, drinking a Mai Tai. I think I was drinking a Mai Tai back then. I maybe had a beer. But you know what I'm saying? But here it is that Trump, for many people who believe that this government, whether you're Republican or Democrat, is for you, is totally against our people. We're going to have to wake up to realize that no need. We're going to have to realize that, when you got a housekeeping, you got to tell them, you're not in the middle of, something here. But we have to realize that in this society we live in, that if we don't wake up to the truth of the matter, that we're just a people that are just brushed aside in society. Look, brothers and sisters, let me tell y'all this right here. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it buck. Okay? The days are coming when the squeeze is on. And you're just going to be a replacement. You're being replaced right now. Look, my sister got fired from her job just a couple weeks ago. My daughter just got laid off. They, and scrambling to trying to get work. And then you go get you another job that you might get paid less. And then all of a sudden now you are up against competing against those who what? Don't look like you, and you have to have a long laundry list of talents and gifts that are going to have to outshine your competitor who just don't look like you. Let me show you all this other video because this is what got me. Now this right here, somebody buy me a cup of coffee because this right here shows and prove the prejudice and the biases that is in Trump against a people of color. Now, don't dare sit here and try to, you all, I'm talking to you people who think every time that you hear the word African and you say, I'm not African. This is about skin color, y'all. This has always been about skin color. I don't care what anybody says. Why is it that the brunt of all the changes has an effect in a people that look like you and I? But here it is. Trump just signed an executive order that white Africans can come here. I call them Afrikaans. That's what they call them. Afrikaans, C-O-N-S, not K-A-N-S. They can come to America under a refugee program because they're saying that the South Africans are mistreating or oppressing them and taking their land. He just signed an executive order stating the fact that there is a refugee program that any South African, white African, can come to America under a refugee program and take the benefits that you pay your taxes in. Let's take a look at that report, you all. Somebody buy me a cup of coffee. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Let's check this out right here. Let's check this out.
Executive order by the Trump administration targeting Afrikaners. They're a South African ethnic group who are predominantly white. The administration is planning to offer certain Afrikaners refugee status in the U.S. after saying they are being targeted by a South African law that allows the government to seize their land. Tonight, we're hearing from South Africans who live here about the president's order. CBS News Miami's Anna McAllister joins us live from Fort Lauderdale with their reaction. Anna?
Well, Lauren, the South Africans I spoke to, they say they are in support of what President Trump is trying to do, but they say that not all South Africans feel that way, and they explained to us why. As President Donald Trump announced he's revoking TPS status for Venezuelans and Haitians, he's inviting one group of people to come to the U.S., white South Africans, specifically Afrikaners. This month, there's been rallies and protests in South Africa following the president's executive order, some for it and others against it.
If I do get the chance to go, it won't be like a charity case. I would take all my assets, I would sell them, go there, maybe start a life for myself, because I don't see starting a family here in South Africa.
Why would you want to go? There hasn't been any really bad taking over of land. The people are carrying on like normal.
President Trump's executive order states that it will not provide assistance to South Africa because of the country's position accusing Israel of genocide in the Gaza conflict and because the Trump administration believes white Afrikaners are being targeted for their land.
Trump was explaining about the land grabs is only touching the surface of what's happening. Myself, I was a first responder, so I was private security for farmers in South Africa, and I dealt firsthand with farm attacks. Now, I know that a lot of Americans don't know what that is. That's basically a group of criminals that will come onto the land, kill the farmer, and try and take that land for themselves.
Who took the land from them in the first place?
Farmers to be attacked for doing their job.
Rudolph Snyman and Carl De Beer are South Africans who recently moved to Fort Lauderdale, an area with a significant South African population. They both tell CBS News Miami many South Africans are supportive of the president's move.
You know, here it is that you can go steal somebody's land, and then when they come go get it, you screaming they taking your land from them that you stole. This right here, biblically, let me set this record straight, you all. The Most High specifically stated who your enemy was. The enemy is specified that you will be sold to your enemies, and they will make you bond men and bond women, maid servants, as slaves. These will be your enemies. When you see that biblical, and the Bible speaks of it time and time and time again, that these are your enemies, those who suppress you, those who imprison you, those who set out to do wrong against you, those who plot and scheme, those who take, who rob and rape and pillage. These are your enemies. But here in damn America, Black folk sits here and defends their enemy and say, all because they have a co-worker or somebody at their school who they say that is cool, and say, we're all equal. This is the most foolish mindset that we have to fight to get out of. Did you just see that? Trump has put a rescue mission for white folks to get out of Africa, to come to America if they're oppressed. When Black folk in America are being oppressed, who comes for us? Can somebody please buy me a cup of coffee? Can somebody please explain to me, how is that? How can a country that is so racist against a people can go talk about another country is oppressing a people that look like them, and will put them under a refugee program and open up a door to provide shelter, money, and jobs when they don't even provide it to their own supposed citizens that don't look like them? The day is here. I am going to prophesy right now what I've been hearing. And I'm telling you all right now, this year right now, I'm just putting the word out. It's easy. People think prophecy is like, so hard or whatever. I mean, it's like only if you have an eye to hear, an ear to hear, and the eyes to see, you're able to see what is actually transpiring. I'm 58 years old, so I've watched this whole thing unravel when it comes to your enemies. A system that has been set in place to oppose a people because of the internal hate, the disdain they have for a people, because they know these are a right people that has been wronged, and yet will continue to press upon these people for their own selfish gain and their own will of wanting to just be superior or better, and then to thumb their nose to say there's nothing you can do. Think about it, y'all. We are the only, listen to this, we are the only people in the world who is nationless, who came out of we're prisoners of a war still. We were never released. Look, I did 20 years in the military. And, when a war happens and soldiers get caught in the war and gets captured, brought in by the enemy and held, they're called prisoners of war. At some point in time, you're either going to be killed or you're going to be used as a pawn to be released. Typically, if the bargaining goes on, negotiations go on, they'll release the prisoner of war. We happen to have been a people who, because other African tribes, right? And not every African tribe is the same, y'all. No, it's a different group of people. And when you're there, I've been to 34 African countries, and even they'll tell you, them tribes over there, no, they are not. They are not, us. There is a difference when you're talking about that. But this whole mission of when you're taking by a people, sold to a people, and taken to a land for 400 years of being enslaved, never being released to be taken back or given the opportunity to be restored or given your own nation. They did it for a country that wasn't even part of America, that's called Israel, that they still send $5 billion a year, and created a land for a people who said they wanted to have land in the middle of an Arab nation. But we never was given an opportunity. We still sit in a country that is our captors. We were captured and taken. Do you not understand that? You sit in a land without having any representation. We are the only people in the world. The Arab has their nations. The Asians have their nations. The Europeans have their nations. You could say the Mexicans have their nations. The Africans have their nation. We are the only people in. Do you not know that scripture? That you shall be scattered to the four corners of the earth, living in far distant lands, worshiping their gods. Do you not know that scripture? Do you not understand that as you sit comfortably in a country and you think because you make your little $60,000, $100,000, $1 million, $50 million, that ain't shit. What? When I made my first meal, I'm gonna tell y'all, look, it's like this right here. It's like, okay, what? So what? Then you start looking at it sensibly, and then you start looking and realizing that I got $5 million here, $10 million, $20 million, $30 million, and I can make one purchase and it's all gone. That shows you how little money is. When you got price tag on things that you realize that money is little. When you see $1 billion, what the freak is $1 billion? What is $1 billion? We think because we have obtained our PhDs and we got some job that's making, look, and most of our people are, the average for a black male is $52,000 a year, and a black woman is $48,000 a year. That's peanuts. And we thinking we achieved something. You went to your fraternities and your sororities, and you put a stake in the ground and made a claim that you are this, or you went to this club or this lodge and you became this, and you think you're something. When in actuality, you're considered nothing. And here Trump has just showed his hand. He laid his hand out. And all these Trump supporters, Biden supporters, Republican supporters, Democratic supporters, calling yourself liberals or conservatives, gotten caught up in the mix of saying that you are a American, and yet they look, let me do a video. Let me show y'all a picture right here. Y'all think that you really represent America? Let me see here. Let me call this up right here. Let me call this up right here. You think that you think we really have any say so or impact in America? You think that you are part of a, look at it. Let me show y'all this right here. Look at this. You look at them people around that table and you tell me, this is the inner circle of the government of the United States. You have no impact in this country. You are not even considered in the conversation at this table. You're not even looked upon as a person at this table. These are those who are shaking hands, making deals, contracts, making decisions, setting wars, coups, business deals. You think that you are somebody in the midst of a Caucasian panel of people who make the decisions in a country who don't give a hoot about you. Where are you at? See, many of y'all gotten so caught up into, we had a black president. You fool. You think because they decided to put Obama as a president showed equality, that America, that you can become whatever you want? That's a bunch of bull. That was a selection beyond your reflection. This is where we have to realize, look, I'm gonna tell y'all something right here. My wife just sent me a text message right here. And many of y'all know that she's in the medical field. She's a physician. And I do her contracts. And they offer these, they offer this money and stuff. And I fight for my wife because my wife has been, a doc for 30 years. I'm looking at, I think I'm laughing. And I fight for her to get the most that I believe she's worth. Because y'all heard me talk about, you got to know what you're worth. Anyway, they've been hitting her up, and we're on assignment right now, and this goes to, they think you're nothing. This still stays in line with, they think you're nothing. And they can just throw you a bone. And we're so hungry, we take the scraps when the Most High said the bread is for us. So my wife told me, she said, they're offering this right here. I said, do you want to take the job or what? I said, I thought you said you wasn't interested in that. She said, no, not really, this and that. I said, what are they paying? And she says, they're paying such and such. And then I say, I want to prove a point to you. This is exactly what I told her. I want to prove a point to you. That's scraps. I said, you know what? I want you to go ahead and give them this number. It was $30 more an hour. I want you to just do that right there. She comes back to me and she says, the woman says, no, there's no way that they can do this and that. That's just, there's no way. She sent me this was yesterday. We had a conversation. Now I'm looking at her text right here. Says the woman is asking if she can get it, if she can get that, if she can give her that, will it be okay to proceed to work starting on this specific date? And I wanted to prove that to my wife. I wanted to prove that to my wife. I went 30 above. And all the assignments that she has been doing, I was like, okay, let's just go 15, whatever, this and that. And I'm just like, got pissed off because I'm like, no, when you're trying to explain something to someone who just don't understand a system, sometimes you're like, okay, all right, whatever. And now it's like, I told my daughter this. My daughter, she just got a job with the WNBA. She got a job, my daughter, but before she took the job, I said, look, throw them this number. Well, they said that this was the most, I don't care. Just do it. Just tell them, look, when are we going to wake up? Just because do you not know that if America is in $50 trillion in debt, you know how much money is rolling around out here? Money is easy to be made. They just make it. These companies has trillions of dollars that they can play around with. Billions and billions of dollars. I put my personal business out there right there, but I wanted to show you all that because my thing of it is that if you don't know what you're worth, if you don't understand in a system, it's just taking from you. And what's happening is, my daughter, let me finish up with my daughter. My daughter calls me back and tells me, she says, Daddy, they went above what they told me, what I told you. And I said, didn't I tell you? They told her the max they said this job here, the max is for her, she's at $65 an hour. They offered her 62. I told her, I said, I would go 75, 80. She, because you're scared. I'm like, you have nothing to lose. You already got a job. I said, go tell them why you believe you're worth 80. Well, she got scared and she defended her in her ability to do the job and explained to them, and she said 70. And guess what they gave her? They gave her 70 when initially they told her that job taps out at 65 an hour. But they turned around and gave her 70. Hell, if she would have said what I said, she would have got the 80. You see, when you're in when we are in our captors, we're captives. When we are in our captors or in our oppression, we are so fearful because we don't want to lose. Why? Because across that interview table is people who don't look like you and those who are making decisions whether you get the job or not. And so you don't want to ripple the boat. You don't want to ripple the water. You don't want to rock the boat. You don't want to give off the appearance that you're being greedy. But look what they do for each other. They can set refugee benefits for white people who's talking about they're being oppressed in South Africa. That they can come to America. Oh yeah, I open up the doors. 54 African countries have no visa program waivers that I'm going to do for Africa. But here's a refugee program for white Africans who can come to America, start a new life, have benefits, get jobs, go to college and all that off the dime of your taxes. And you thinking you are a special black person who's an American that Trump and Biden and the Republicans and Democrats really love. We got to wake up. Somebody buy me a freaking cup of coffee because I need caffeine to kick me in gear to wake me up out of this sleep. Somebody please tell me what is going on. Please, those who came in, please rewind. I just showed the videos. This are reports. This is what Trump just did. No to Africans, yes to Afrikaans. No to black people, yes to white people. This is what it's about. And we think that we are special people who have arrived and talking about things are great. Because you're making your little measly little 100,000, 200, 300,000, 1 million, $50 million. Shame on you. Look, check this out right here. I did a research just to check on Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, who everybody praises like he's got all this money. He ain't got crap. He don't have a pot to piss in. Oh my God, Michael Jordan is worth $1 billion. $1 billion. Did y'all see Kanye West crying? He was $5 billion. They won't let me have my own label company type of brand. I have to go through them and they don't accept the type of designs that I want, this and that. Boo, hoo, hoo, hoo. And he's got $5 billion. That tells you, Negro, you have no power. I looked up Michael Jordan and saw that his Air Jordans, by his name, he only gets 7% of the returns. I think it was 7%. I don't want a lot of y'all. Though he made $25 million, I think it was last year on sales off of just 7%. But think about that. Let me see here. Michael Jordan, Air Jordan. What has he got? Let's see here. 5%. How much royalty does Michael Jordan get from the Nike? Michael Jordan earns about 5% of the Jordan brand sales as part of his license and his with his deal with Nike. 5%. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna tell y'all. You know, there is a thing where, of course, I know money runs and controls people. It used to control me too. But I remember back in the day when the older folk used to say, all money's not good money. Matter of fact, I have turned down so much money just with this YouTube. You know how many companies reach out to me wanting to do commercials and advertise their products and, want to do these side deals and, these companies who want to go ahead and me put plugs in for them all. I have done zero of them. Why? Because not all that to me, not all money is good money. I'd rather make no money from them, even though some money is, I was also raised that sometimes some money is better than no money, but that's if you are in a need of it. But I rather have nothing, receive nothing. If I was Michael Jordan, even though he's in a different man than I am, then, for them to get 95% and all I get is 5%. You mean to tell me that I don't deserve for my hard work, my name, my brand, that I deserve 30%? This is where we are in a country been so oppressed, depressed, that we forget who we are. When the Most High had told us, all you have to do is follow, and I shall bless your comings and your goings. You see, the blessing is when you're able to remove oneself out of a system being tied to financially or under the control that you have to perform at a certain level and thinking that you have achieved something. When you realize all is lost, all is nothing, it means nothing. Titles don't mean anything. Fame and fortune means nothing. Because at the end of the day, it's all about really, how do I navigate through this life that is passed to me that I have to be able to survive in. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Michael Jordan shouldn't be making his money off of it. No, that's a business deal that he made. I'm just saying, just think about how we're treated. Just think about how we're treated. Let me let my wife know we are just downtrodden, kicked to the curb. We've been told we're bad for so long. The media has portrayed us to be just evil people. We have a disdain and a hate for one another because we've fallen into the lie. We believe that we have become them. We have went to the English classes and speak proper and pass their exams, and we have become doctors and attorneys, and we become our bachelor's degrees and our master's degrees, and we have gotten us a house with a mortgage, and we bought us a car that cost $100,000, and I'd ride around in my Mercedes Bentley, my BMW, and I have made it. I live next door to a white person who I am myself am white. This is what we've become. This is what we've become. And I wanted just to share this with you so that we can open up our eyes just to really see that it's time. The corner's about to turn, and it's about time that many people are going to have to reap the hell that's coming down the road. There are those who's already positioned themselves, myself and others, to be put in other countries that have other domains, have created themselves jobs and have businesses, to be more putting, some of the eggs in other baskets, to have other opportunities and not be relying on the nipple of America to feed you when it doesn't give a damn about you. Well, family, had to bring this right here. I'll be back pushing up another video. And I'm going to bring out these books to show who we really are. It's just so much evidence to show we are part of the 12 tribes of Israel, the true chosen people on this earth. And I'm going to bring it out by these European maps and these European books because, our people don't believe any of our own scholars. So we're going to go and we got to pull out their discoveries so that you can see this. I had a conversation with my sister yesterday, sharing with her who we are. And she, of course, is still emphatically tied to an old school teaching of schools of thoughts indoctrinated by those who were placed as instructors and teachers and professors, that it's hard to break that block. I get it. It's hard to break that mold when you have been so indoctrinated your whole life by information that you thought was real. So with that, family, I must go bid you a farewell. Somebody buy me a cup of coffee. This is your man, not your boy, bringing you another gold nugget that you can either pick up or you can just kick it aside. I'm out. Peace and blessings to each and everyone. May your day be as blessed as mine.